Hello and welcome everybody to the Gunner's Voice podcast. We're back after an international break and we've got quite a bit to unpack. Obviously guys, we are here previewing the Arsenal vs Nottingham Forest game. But before we get into that, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit the like, and let's get some comments going guys. You know, we've had a couple of weeks without football. Let's hear your thoughts on Arsenal's injury news, your predicted 11, and especially what your score prediction is. So leave those in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to those comments after the video. So let's get straight into it, guys. Been a couple of weeks since we've seen Arsenal. I think a lot of Arsenal fans can agree that maybe that international break came at a good time for us. I think we weren't in the best form. I think the mood in the fan base wasn't the greatest. And I think now, with a lot of our players back and a bit of an easier run of fixtures, I think hopefully we can see the tide turn in Arsenal's season. So speaking of, just news, and I'm going to jump straight into the team news. And obviously Arteta has just, or should I say Mikel Arteta rather, has just had his Arsenal press conference for the game like an hour ago. So this is what I had to say on the team news. He was asked how we are looking after international break. He said there are some positives, some others not so. Trossard seems to be okay. He trained this morning and seems to be feeling good. He was also asked on how Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice are doing. And he said they've had their first partial session today, so very good as well. On Ricardo Calafiori, he said Ricky trained today, so his rehab is going really well. He was able to do certain things last week with the physios and train on the pitch this week with us and today. So he will be in the squad. And then obviously, guys, we also heard the unfortunate news of Ben White needing to go for surgery. And obviously, that's what Arteta had to say about that. He said, Ben is going to be out for months. It's been different kind of struggles. It's never been the same thing, but we had to make a decision in the last few weeks. Unfortunately, we know that Ben is going to push every boundary, but it got to a point where we had to protect the player and we decided to do the surgery. He agreed with that. And obviously, it will keep him out for a few months. We have to see how he reacts post-surgery. I don't expect him to be out for a half a season or a year, but I cannot tell you exactly how long. So there we just have some interesting team news from Arteta. I think some obviously negative there with Ben White, but a lot of positives that Trossard is fit, Saka and Rice are in contention, and Calafiori is also in contention. So I think to have those four players available just adds to the strength of our squad. Obviously having Ben out is a bit of a blow, but I think when you've got Ben White going out and Calafiori coming in, at least it kind of balances each other out. So hopefully we can see a really strong competitive side from Arsenal tomorrow. Obviously seen Arsenal struggle for form in the last couple of weeks, and the mood around the fan base, I think it really took a knock. I'm not too sure about how the mood in the Arsenal camp is because obviously I'm not there, but Arteta was questioned on how the players and how the staff and everybody's feeling within the club, and this is what he had to say. He says, I think about everything that we've done. Is the reason that we haven't won games because the opponent has been superior to us? The clear answer is no. Should we have won more of those games? The answer is yes. Do I like what our team is doing? The answer is yes. But we have to improve certain things, especially how we defend attacking the box. Overall, I think a lot of things, but I need to understand how the players are. And the only way to do that, other than communicating on the phone, is when they come back. And the energy of the staff and players yesterday was unbelievable. That's the joy of being with these guys on this journey. They love being here. They love to be back with us. And that brings the energy up straight away. There's not much that I need to do. It's always good to paint the picture and make sure that we're on the right track. So there you have it, guys. I think Arteta obviously coming out with a very, united front. And I think that's what Arsenal need right now. I think between the fans and the media and rival fans, it's very easy and quick to deter and cause a bit of a whirlwind within the team. And I think it's good that Arteta has come out and nipped it in the bud as quickly as possible, and reiterated that, the squad is still positive, that the players are have the energy levels up, that they still believe. And I think as long as the players believe, I think as fans, we are entitled to our beliefs dropping, because that's what we see on and off the field, or on the field, should I rather say, will determine whether or not we believe to a certain extent. But I think the players, they can't give up. They have to be the ones to prove to us as fans, especially since the couple of games we've had over the past couple of weeks, that they still are wanting to fight for this title. And I think that's going to show us a lot tomorrow. I think the way we perform tomorrow, both scoreline wise and actual performance, will tell us whether or not the players are in the right space of mind, or right frame of mind, should I rather say, to compete for this title. Up against a very informed team in Nottingham Forest, a team that is level on points with us. It's had a really good start to the season under a really good manager, Nuno Espirito Santos, which I think we can all remember from his days with Spurs and Wolves. And Forest are not there by any fluke or any luck. They've beaten Liverpool this season. They're the only team to beat Liverpool this season, actually. And I think if we go into this game thinking anything less than, that they're a good team or taking them lightly, we could find ourselves punished very easily. So I think our approach to the game has to be professional. I think we need to take it with the utmost level of seriousness and be super competitive. I want Arsenal to get stuck in challenges. I want us to frustrate Forest. I want us to make our home ground advantage, you know, be an advantage, and I think if we can get an early goal, I think that just calms the crowd down and also gets the fans behind us. And I think that's vitally important that Arsenal get that done tomorrow. Just on Nottingham Forest form, this is what Arteta had to say. He said they've been really good, really consistent. They've been tough against the best opponents, especially. So big credit to Nuno and the coaching staff for what they're doing. They're very clear with their intentions on how they manage to take the game the way they want. I'm really impressed with how they've done it. And I think that just speaks volumes of the job that Nuno Espirito Santo is doing at Forest. And, there's some key players for them that Arsenal obviously have to watch out for. None other than Chris Wood, who is coming off a great goal scoring run recently and obviously winning player of the month alongside his manager, who won manager of the month. So Forest are going to come here confident. Forest are going to believe that they can beat us. I mean, they're the only team to beat Liverpool this season across all competitions. So why would they not feel like they can cause an upset against us tomorrow, especially knowing that, we're not in the greatest form, that the fans will be kind of a bit edgy and a bit nervy. So I think it's going to be a very interesting game tomorrow. And I think Nottingham Forest will come there to try and frustrate us and maybe try and nick a win like they did against Liverpool. So the onus is on Arsenal to avoid that, to play professionally, to take the game to Forest, to take our moments. And I'm looking at our players tomorrow. I'm looking at Saka if he's available. I'm looking at Havertz. I'm looking at Odegaard. I'm looking at Martinelli to really take the game by the scruff of the neck and really take their chances, take their moments. And I think it's very, very, very important that Arsenal really get a result tomorrow, because if you can get a result tomorrow and you can go on a run, I think that just is something that will kickstart the Arsenal fan base's belief again. Obviously, it's just one game, but I think you need to start winning. Arsenal haven't won in a couple of games, and I think that's really been a frustrating thing. I think if you think back, it's Newcastle we haven't won, Chelsea and Inter, So that's 3 games without a win in all competitions, and I think it's vitally important that we get that done. Just some key players to highlight for both sides. I think for Arsenal, I think you're going to look at the defense in Gabriel and Saliba, and you're going to expect them to, or want them to have a good game, especially, trying to shut out Chris Wood, who's a very physical forward, in great form. So I'm looking at those two to have a really good game. I'm hoping that we can dominate the midfield with Partey, Rice, Marino, Odegaard, whoever's going to get in that midfield. I think the midfield battle will be key as well for us in terms of, do we get on the ball and play? Do we win the ball back quickly and, maybe play in a transition a lot quicker? Because I think the more time we spend on the ball and slow the game down, the better for Forest, because they can get into a shape. So we need to make sure that we on the ball quickly, zipping passes in between the lines, a lot of movement. And I think that's going to be key from our midfield. And obviously up front, I'm looking at Havertz. I'm not too sure if Saka will start tomorrow, but I have a feeling he will. So I'm looking at Havertz, I'm looking at Saka, I'm looking at Martinelli to really take the game to Forest and, continue their good home form. I think all 3 players have had a good sort of start to the season, especially at home. Havertz included, or Havertz, I'd rather say, more than others. So I think it's going to be a very good, an interesting game tomorrow. From like I said, from Forest, obviously got Callum Hudson-Odoi, Anthony Langa. Defensively as well, they're looking super strong. So yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting game, and I'm hopeful Arsenal can get a win. I'm expecting Arsenal to get a win. And I'm going to predict a 2-1 Arsenal win. It might not be the most wow scoreline, but at this point in time, and I'm being realistic, Arsenal haven't been in the greatest form. Could we have a surprise like we did with Crystal Palace in January earlier this year, where we come up and get a 5-0 win? But that was against a poor Palace side. This is an informed Nottingham Forest side that, yes, might have lost their last game, but at the end of the day, they are still in good form if you look at their last 5-6 games. So a 2-1 win for Arsenal, I think, would be great. I'm hoping maybe a 2-0 just for a clean sheet and a bit of confidence for the defense, but a win is what I think is the most important. And I think that's what every Arsenal fan will say. Get a win, get the momentum started, and then we take it forward. And I think, yeah, that's the main thing. So, as always, guys, that is the video. Please leave your predictions in the comment section. Who would you start tomorrow? Would you make any changes? Would you risk Saka if he's not 100%? What would you do if you were Mikel Arteta? And that brings us to the end of today's video, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you've hit the like button, make sure that you've hit the subscribe button, and make sure that you flooded the comments. Guys, we also have the Golden Goal Media giveaway, which is set to be done on the 1st of December. Stand a chance to win a football jersey of the team that you support. If you're a Gunner and you're on this podcast, you stand a chance to win this season's Arsenal kit. It can be home, away, or the third kit. The choice is yours. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and follow the competition rules on there. As always, guys, from myself, Shannon, at the Gunner's Voice, it's good to be here.